Hello everybody and welcome to our webinar today. I'm so excited to be here to talk to you today about the 3 key ways to use free content to book more clients every month. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, who is this webinar for? Well, this webinar is for you if you are an online entrepreneur, and I presume most of you are if you are here, because that's what we're talking about, and that's what we're talking about with the free content today. So if you want to grow your list fast, if you're keen to get more of your dream clients rather than those ones that drag you down and are more trouble than they're worth, and if you really want to automate as much as possible in your business, then you are in the right place today. And if you don't know what to write that's going to really engage your audience, if you're stuck for ideas, if you're always thinking you just can't come up with that inspiration, then today you're here and you are definitely in the right place, because we're going to be talking about that a lot. And if you want to create that simple, reliable online marketing system, then you are again in the right place. Now, I'm hoping that you can see my slides and that you can hear me, so please type in if that is the case, because I would love to have that feedback. I do like to have an audience, and I know I like talking a lot, but talking to myself is not as much fun as having a beautiful audience in front of me. So please type in that you can see my slides and that you're able to hear me. So who am I? Now, I'll just briefly go through this if you don't know, if you haven't met me before. I'm Pauline Delaney and I'm your host here today, and I have worked in the health industry for over 25 years. So I am by profession an optometrist, so I've spent a lot of time looking into people's eyes and prescribing glasses and contact lenses and dealing with a lot of different types of personalities and age ranges, and it's been really exciting, but I found that I wanted to have something different. I was tired of that. I wanted to have a change. I also have 4 gorgeous children who are aged between 14, who turned 14 yesterday, and my eldest is now 23. So I have a few different stages there, and I'm sure that many of you as well have children too, and it's a great place to be able to the online world is a great way to have a business and have a family as well, and that's what I'm really passionate about, having that balance between the two. Now, about 4 years ago, I was introduced to the idea of internet marketing. I went to a seminar at the Hilton Hotel in Melbourne, where I live, and was blown away by the options, by the opportunity, by what was available out there. It had never been really revealed to me before. It was a real eye-opener. And I was then at the stage where I probably could hardly even send an email. I didn't have a computer. My husband had a computer, and I would sometimes go on his computer. And that just was so, so different, to realize that I could actually run a business using my computer. And that's what prompted me to take the steps to become an entrepreneur myself, and to put me on that journey to creating my own online business. But I found that even though I did love the internet marketing, and I did a lot of seminars and trainings and lots of different certifications along the way, there was something else missing, and that was the personal development side. So I wanted to also incorporate the behavioral stuff and the mindset, and really understand what was going on with people, and both the people that I was working with and people that I wanted to work with, so my target market. And it just added a huge depth to what I was doing, and really made my work so much more exciting, and meant that I was able to offer, of course, a much larger range of services to people that I was serving. That makes sense, doesn't it? Services to people I was serving, to my clients. So I did a lot of personal development training. I did my life coaching certification and NLP training, and so many different fantastic, exciting trainings I did there, which were wonderful. And so what I do now is I've combined all of these together. So I've got my coaching, I've got my marketing that I incorporate in there. I've got the business and the mindset. So it really covers all the bases and means that I'm able to offer a great service to people, but it also means that I'm satisfied and I find that it's exciting. I'm not confined to one particular part, but that whole package is what you need to have a successful online business. So now I'm a business and success coach for online female entrepreneurs. So if you're one of those, then you are definitely in the right place today. So let's get started with our content. Now, what is so good about content? Well, when you're creating great content, this means that you're showing your audience that you care. You care about them and you care about their problems. So it builds that great rapport and trust. It positions you as an expert because you're talking about things that you have a lot of expertise about, and it's something that the people you're aiming your content at what they want to hear. And it really gets the attention of your target market. So it's going to create that awareness of the challenges and desires of your people and provide clarity. So if you're talking about the things that they're struggling with, it really helps them get clear on what they are, and then you're able to then talk about what they could do to change that. So it allows you to share great information and build relationships with people. And it also is going to demonstrate your connection and your understanding of your audience. And that's key. People need to be understood. They need to know that you understand them and what they're going through. So why would you give away free content? This is something that I really highly recommend you do, but why would you do it? Well, be generous. If you can be really, really generous with what you're giving away, if you're giving away free trainings like I'm doing today, this webinar or training is free. You haven't had to pay to be here. But you're still going to get great information. And what that's going to do is it's going to give your audience a taste of you and what you can offer before they commit, before they have to invest their money. They're already investing in you by, even though it's free content, they're still investing their time and energy into listening to you, into experiencing what you have to offer. But it's that next step of investing their money that means that if you're spending this time with them with the free content, they're going to be more likely to be willing to invest with you once they've experienced how fantastic that is. So it really does position you as an expert, and it builds that know, like, and trust factor so much faster, particularly if you're using something like video or even audio like I'm doing today, because you're experiencing me in a way that would be quite different to if I just handed you an article I'd written, for example. It's quite different, and it builds it so much faster. So how are you going to make your content great? Well, of course, this is important. There's no point in you churning out pieces and pieces of content over and over again if they're not any good or if they're mediocre. So you want to always be putting out brilliant content, great content, but that doesn't mean it has to take you forever, and it doesn't have to mean that that's all that you do, that you've got no time for anything else. It's really important as well to realize that you can reuse your content. So once you've written a great blog post or an article or something like that, that's not the end of it. You can repurpose it in so many different ways. As a blog, if it's a Facebook post, you can repurpose it as a blog or put it into your newsletter or do a Facebook Live on it. There are so many different ways to use that same piece of great content over and over again, because we're all into saving time and being as efficient and productive with the things that you do and the time that you have, so that you're not reinventing the wheel over and over again. You're doing something once and then repurposing it in lots of different ways. So you want to be crystal clear on your target market. That's the first thing you need to do, because you want to know who you're going to be talking to. You can put out wonderful content, but if it's not relevant to the people you're wanting to reach, then what's the point? You have to have an intention with why you're putting out this content, why you're writing this Facebook post. What do you want to get from it? Do you want to get someone to engage with you? What's your end result? Do you want to build that expertise, that build up your visibility so people start to see you regularly and know what you stand for? be crystal clear on your target market, and that means that you can then create your content according to that target market. Now, what I always recommend to my clients is if you can distill your ideal client into a single paragraph, that makes things so much easier. So what you need to do is really get clear on what their pain and pleasure points are. So what's going to motivate them? So what are the problems that they're facing? What are the challenges that they're having? What really gets their goat? What are they talking about over and over again in the different Facebook groups, or when you're hearing them talk amongst themselves? What are they complaining about? What are their challenges? And how do they want things to be instead? What are their dream outcomes? If you can get really clear on what these things are, then that is how you're going to be able to reach, how to make your content brilliant and targeted so that it's really going to speak to them. And then you want to be able to tailor the solution that you have so that it's going to be very relevant to the problem points that these people, pain points they're having, and the outcomes that they want. And your dream is to create a transformation. That's the key. Create a transformation. Now, I've got a little paragraph here that is an idea of what one of my ideal clients was in the past. And it'll just give you a little idea on how you can create this single paragraph about your ideal client and how powerful it can be. Because once you have created this, what you can do is you can stick that up on your wall, this little paragraph about your ideal client. And whenever you're writing your content, whenever you're doing any marketing, whenever you're putting anything out online, she or he is the person that you're speaking to. And if you are stuck for ideas or knowing what you want to write about, then you look at her and she's who you're writing to each time. And that builds up that conversational tone as well, but it means it keeps you focused so that you're not trying to appeal to too many people at once. So let's give you a quick, I'll give you this paragraph about my ideal client. So Kate is a 40-year-old service-based business owner. She is married with 3 children, aged 8, 10, and 12. She has a household income of $120,000. She is a regular social media user and often spends time on Facebook and a little bit on Instagram. She enjoys spending time at the gym, but she doesn't get there as much as she'd like. She's a very active offline networker, but she's a tech novice, so has no real idea on how to get online and market herself effectively. She loves personal development and she follows Tony Robbins and Oprah. She knows that she isn't charging enough for her services, but fears that if she bumps up her prices, she won't be able to attract new clients. She's time poor. She has limited cash flow and she wants more clients, but it all seems too overwhelming. And she worries about how she's going to pay her bills if she doesn't get more clients in the door. Now, her dream solution would be to have a focused, tailored marketing plan laid out for her to follow, to increase her client base and generate new leads regularly, which would enable her to automate her business and leverage her time. So that's my ideal client, and that just gives you an idea on how that makes her a real person. And if you are putting out content aimed to appeal to that real person, it's very different to putting out content that's, if you've got your target audience is women who are this age, who are this, and this. It's not that, you haven't got that personal element there. And you can then be much more, as I said, much more conversational in the way that you're speaking, and you're going to understand her better. You can really speak to her problems, and that's going to attract her much more powerfully. So what you want to do, as I said before, is to create a transformation. That's your aim. You want to have a transformation for your clients. You're not going to sell the program that you're, or the product that you have, so per se, because they can get that anywhere. What you're going to sell is what it can do for them, what the benefits are for them, and what they're going to be able to get from it, what their outcome is, what their transformation is. So instead of talking about what's included in your program and what they get, concentrate on that transformation. Get really clear on where they are right now. Then take them on that journey and show them the big vision and sell the end result. how things are going to be for them once they have done your program, once they have worked with you, once they have purchased your product. So if they're coming back to you, if they're coming to you to get their body back, for example, after having a baby, then instead of talking about the meal plans, the exercise, how to structure their weeks, how they're going to fit it all in, instead you talk about how wonderful things are going to be once they can look in the mirror and feel happy. They can pick out anything from their wardrobe. They can put it on and know it looks fantastic. And they have energy at the end of the day instead of collapsing in a heap in front of the TV. Or maybe if you are a relationship coach, instead of telling them how you're going to teach them to create the perfect dating profile online or how to structure their first date, instead what you want to do is to build up that vision of how fantastic their life will be once they have their soulmate, when they have someone to share their lives with, go to the movies together, and even have a family together. So if you can show them how their lives are going to change, that transformation that you can help them create, that's what's going to sell your program. That's the great content. That's what you want to be able to put out there, not how many modules they get or how many extra hours of coaching or how many DVDs or anything like that. So sell the transformation. And this is whether you have a program or with whatever content you're putting out there, that's the aim. Now, what is a great content marketing strategy? Well, step number one, the slides, oh, I've just seen that Eileen's saying the slides are not moving. Are they moving now, Eileen? Just let me know if they're moving now. I'm hoping they're moving because I am moving them at my end. So yeah, just let me know about that. So what is a great content marketing strategy? So number one is having a lead magnet. Now I'll go into these a little bit more in a minute. So the first one is the lead magnet. Then you want to use social media, email marketing, and live free content events. So I'm going to go into those a little bit more in detail now. So the lead magnet. Now what is a lead magnet? Most of you will probably know what this is if you have been online for a while. So a lead magnet is something to attract, you know, a magnet will attract something, and a lead is obviously a potential client. So it's a freebie. It's something that you have that you can give out to people to attract people to you, and you're giving it out to them for free. It's targeted, it's something they really want, and then in exchange they're going to give you their details so you can then put them onto your database and you can then start to nurture them. So they'll give you their name and email address, and you are then able to, they're on your list then, or your database, whatever you like to call it. So the keys to creating a great lead magnet are, first is to choose a killer topic. So you want to really hone in on what problems are your ideal clients having and what do they want instead. Now, I know there are people out there who hate talking about the pain points, and they don't like pushing those buttons and really digging in deep and getting their clients worked up and sort of really making them realize how bad things are. But that's going to motivate them much more than the pleasure. Unfortunately, we are usually motivated more by moving away from the pain because the pain is so bad, rather than moving towards the pleasure. Now, this is not always the case, so it may be different for you and your people. So you need to do a bit of testing and measuring to find out what works best for you. So a killer topic, for example, say if it's the baby example I did before, the pleasure point might be something like how to get your body back after baby and have a healthy life, for example, as opposed to stop staring in the mirror and feeling depressed every time you do it. Let's lose those 5 kilos. Now, I just made that up on the spot, but they're not very good. But you get what I'm saying. So you can choose a pain topic, or you can choose a pleasure topic. And the actual the actual lead magnet can be the same content, but you can come at it with a different angle. So it depends on what's going to work best for your people. So do a little bit of research about that. And it's going to be much more powerful if you can create it around one thing, one of their pain points, one of their dream outcomes. So if they're, say for example, they're an online business and they want to get more clients, then you don't focus it on how to create an online business. You create it on how to get your first client or how to get your first high-level client, something like that, rather than making it really general. It's going to be much more powerful if you have that single focus, that short, sharp, and specific focus. And then you want to create an email nurture sequence from that. So the idea is you have this fantastic lead magnet, whether it's a checklist or a template or an ebook, a short ebook, something like that, that's going to be really attractive to them. You put it out there on Facebook, you put it out to wherever you want to market to people, wherever your people are online. And it's got a really, really focused title that's going to create a lot of buzz, grab their attention. They're going to be really excited by it. They're going to say, yes, I want that. Here's my name and email address. You then will give them their product or their freebie, their lead magnet. You will deliver that to them as you promised. And then they will go into an automated email nurture sequence that you will set up in your CRM or customer relationship management system, so that once they register for this lead magnet, then automatically that triggers a series of emails. And this is really powerful because this means that rather than you giving them something for free and then them going, oh, that was cool, okay, next, what's happening next? You're going to now be in their inbox every day or every couple of days with more great content. So, and it happens on autopilot. You're not having to go, oh, somebody's registered, I better go and write them an email. You've got that already pre-written, preloaded, and automated. And it's going to be very precisely aligned with what you've given them, and something that's going to be really exciting, that you're going to give them this great content regularly and nurturing them. Number 2 is social media. So you want to choose the platform that you're going to spend your time on, and there are so many different ones. You can't be on all of them, at least if you haven't, unless you have a team of 20 people helping you out. But if you're on your own or you only have a small team, then choose 2 or 3 at the most to spend your time on. That's going to be much more effective than you trying to spread yourself thin over 5 or 6 different platforms. So my number 1 is Facebook for sure, and I would suspect for most people that would be the case. Facebook just has so much scope. It's so much going for it. It's so easy to be targeted. There's so many options. There's Facebook groups, there's pages, there's paid Facebook ads that can be really, really targeted and get right to your potential clients. And they're not very expensive. They're not compared to something like Google AdWords, for example, or even offline advertising. It's really an affordable way to start. So building up that familiarity yourself with Facebook, for example, and also getting to people starting to get to know you. Then they see an ad from you, for example, that it's going to be much more likely to click on the ad. Instagram maybe. If you're a business-to-business type business, then maybe LinkedIn may be your platform. If you're really visual, then maybe Instagram or Pinterest or something like that. So that may take a little bit of research, but once you've defined who your ideal client is, as I mentioned earlier, and you've got that little paragraph about him or her, then you know where you should be spending your time, because obviously you want to be where your ideal client is. You want to create a strategy. There's no point in going, right, I'm going on Facebook and I'm going to get lots of clients, and then going on there and doing something one day and something else another day and posting here and posting there, and then getting all excited and posting for a week and then getting exhausted and thinking, no, I'm not going to do anything now, I'll just have a little break. It's making a strategy that's going to work for you that's really important. It's having a consistent strategy that you can implement day by day, that's not too taxing, that's not going to take you forever, but is going to be very much aligned with the result that you want, the intention that you're going in with. So that's the first thing you need to do, is to decide, well, what's the purpose of my social media marketing? What do I want to achieve? Am I looking to get clients? Am I looking to get visible? Am I looking so that I can then launch a group program? Whatever it is, that's what you have to get clear on first, and you base your strategy, you create your strategy based on what your end result is going to be, or what your purpose is in being on social media. And as I said, you want to be really consistent, both with your activity, as I said, so being on there regularly each day, rather than having big gaps in between. And if each day is too much, at least every second day, for example, rather than one day, then 7 days later, then every day for a week. It's that consistency that's most important. And being consistent with your message. So not going on there and talking about how to lose weight one day, and then how to be a vegan the next day, and then the next day how to run an online business. Choose your ideal client, your target market, your niche, and then be true to that and stay consistent with the messaging around that. That is so, so important. Okay. And then email marketing, as I said before, is really, really key. You can have that automated email sequence set up after you've created a lead magnet, but also regularly being able to mail your list and reach them by email. So you want to build a list. This is key, and this is something you'll hear over and over again in online marketing. You know, the money's in the list. And it really, really is. If you can grow a list of your ideal clients, prospects, potential clients, leads, whatever you want to call them, then you are able to get into their inbox. You're able to send them regular solo mailers and newsletters. So you're able to give them great content over and over again, so that when the time comes for you to have an offer and you want them to buy something, they're going to be much more likely to do that because you've nurtured them along the way. Now, a solo mailer, for those of you who don't know, is simply an email with a single call to action. So solo being one, so it might be join my Facebook group. You might have a webinar coming up. So some of you may have received emails about my webinar coming up, and that would be a solo mailer. A newsletter is more of something that's information and education rather than with a call to action in there. So if you can send a combination of those two, so they're not always getting sales emails, and they're not never getting sales emails. So having a great combination. And you want to get them used to responding and taking action, getting them used to you telling them what to do. Okay, reply to this email, answer yes if this is you, go join my Facebook group, come to my webinar, ask them a question, get them to reply to the email. That's the way that you're going to get, taking those first steps of taking action, whether it's clicking on a button, whether it's replying to an email, is going to make it much more likely that once you do have something that you want them to buy or invest in, they're already used to saying yes to you. So the more you can get that happening, the more chance there is of them then saying yes when it's a bigger offer. Getting them used to those small things are key to growing them to a bigger ask. And they're going to be, if you can nurture them along the way, you're not going from zero to here's my $10,000 coaching package, because that's a big mismatch there. And live free content events are awesome. Now that's what we're doing today. So we've got a webinar today. And with the webinar, you have signed up. I have created an event, and you have then had to register with your name and email address in order to attend the event. So now you're on my list. I have your don't be scared. It's a good list. It's a nice list, not a naughty list. And you are on in my database, and I can now regularly send you emails. So that's a great way to build your list, and it's a great free content event to create something like a webinar like this. A live stream in your Facebook group or on your Facebook page is awesome. And you can even get people to register for that too. And you can then repurpose that. That's what I do with my live streams. I will then I'll upload them to YouTube, and then I'll send out an email later on to people with a link to the live stream, so that I'm using it again and again and not having to come up with new stuff all the time. You can do a live workshop. You can have an interactive workshop. You can do it by what I'm doing and GoToWebinar. You can use something like Zoom, is a brilliant one nowadays, because you can see everybody's face. They're able to respond back to you. You can do an online masterclass. Now, some of these are the same things, just with different names, and you can decide for yourself what works best for you. Just breaks it up a little bit too. You can create a video series. People can be seeing you regularly on video, or even a challenge, and challenges are brilliant too. There's something that I will run in my Facebook group, a 5-day challenge, for example. I just did one recently, and what that does is people register for the challenge. They get emails every day reminding them about it. They're then on my list. They need to join my Facebook group in order to see the challenge, because that's where I'm running it. So they're in my Facebook group, and then for 5 days they're seeing me over and over again by video. So really building up that know, like and trust factor so much faster by spending that concentrated time together every day. Works really, really well. And of course they need to register. So you want, as much as possible, when you're having these live free content events, they need to register. They need to give you their name and email address in order to access this great training that you're providing. And that then, as I said, puts them onto your email list, so that you're then able to email market to them. So let's just, now we're going to be talking about the 3 key ways to use free content to book more clients every month. So what are these 3 key ways? Well, the first way is to do research on what your ideal clients are talking about. So get really, really clear on what their top of mind problems are. So are they all talking about how hard it is to get more clients? Are they talking about how no one's responding to them on Facebook? Are they talking about how, depending of course on your industry and who you're talking to, are they talking about how they don't know what to eat and cook for their family? They're time poor. They've got no time to cook anything. They haven't got time to exercise. So listen to what they're saying. So go into the groups on Facebook where your ideal clients are. See what they're talking about. When you are even out and about, listen to what people are saying. When you're talking to your clients or anyone who's a potential client, what sort of language are they using? What are they saying? That is all brilliant research that you can then use to incorporate into the content that you're creating. So you're going to then create content around the things that they're talking about. So for example, if you're getting back to our baby body lady, if a lady's just had a baby and she's feeling unhappy with the way her body looks, she wants to get back to the shape she was before, and she's talking about how hard it is to create to eat well when you've got a baby, because you've got no time, you're exhausted all the time. And if you then created a webinar about how to create 15-minute meals and workouts when you have a new baby, something like that, then that's going to grab her attention, because that's exactly what it is she's complaining about, what is her top of mind problem. Whereas if you said something like weight loss class for the new mum, then that may not grab her attention as much. So it's really honing in on what the pinpoint those specific things people are talking about. And those are the things that you really want to pinpoint yourself and create your content around. And that's how you're going to be able to get the right people attracted to you, and then they're going to be more likely to convert into clients. And you want to give away all your best stuff for free. So don't give them little bits of pieces and, hints, and then not actually give them the strategy. Get them on the webinar for the 15-minute things and say, well, in order to actually have my 15-minute meals and a workout, you're going to have to pay me X amount of dollars and join my program. No, give them a free workout. Give them a free recipe, because that is going to build up that confidence. They're going to get to experience you before they have to pay. They're going to know that you can deliver on what you're saying, because here's the evidence. They've got that in front of them. They're going to be really feeling very good towards you, because you're giving them all this great stuff for free without expectations. And the most powerful way to have a client, to get a client, is for them to come to you and ask, how can I work with you, rather than you chasing them and saying, please come and work with me. That's going to work much, much better. And this is how to do it with the free content. And then you're going to offer from your live content. So imagine the difference between a Facebook post, for example, and then at the end there's an offer, compared to doing a live stream about something brilliant that you can't wait to hear about, and you're really, your jaw's dropping with everything that this lovely lady is saying, and then at the end of that, you're expecting something. You're thinking, wow, what's next? How do I work with her? What's the next step? You're doing actually a disservice if you're not offering something after that, if you're giving this great content away for free. That's when you're going to be the most likely to be able to convert someone and to actually sign them up as a client, or whatever it is you call them, a customer. When you have given them this great free content, and then you have a tailored offer, a targeted offer that flows on from that content, that's when you're going to be able to really get the signing on the dotted line. They're going to be much more ready to take that next step when they've just spent time with you, they've just heard how great you are, and that you know exactly what they're talking about, and you are the person that can help them. So you want to do research. Do research on what your ideal clients are talking about, as I said. So brainstorm their problems, the challenges, the top of mind burning issues that they have, and that's what you're going to plan your live content around. So by really listening and keeping your ears open, you've got all of the topics there. You've got all of the ideas there if you're just listening properly. And you want to then be able to plan a pathway for them to follow. As I said just before, leading to your paid offer. So starting from the problem that they're at now and getting really clear on what that is, and making it getting them really clear on what their problem is, and then, because that's important, and unfortunately we do have to do that, we have to dig deep, we have to really, push on the wound, so to speak, so that you're really hitting those pain points hard and making them aware of how bad this is and how deep this pain is, for them to then decide, well, I've had enough of this, I can't stand this anymore, I need to change, I'm ready to make a change. Because until people are made aware of that pain, and until they decide that they're ready to change it, you can't help them. Even if you've made them aware and they're really clear on how much pain they're in, they have to make that decision to get out of the pain before they are going to be open to anything you have to offer. You can't force them to change. If you look at someone who's smoking, and they are being told constantly, it's bad for you, it gives you lung cancer, it gives you tongue cancer, it can kill you, it makes your breath smell bad, all these different things, then that's not enough for so many people. That's not enough for them to give up, is it? Because so many people are still smoking. They have to decide, I can't stand this anymore, I'm ready. I don't want to have these problems. I'm sick of having to stand outside like a leper because no one lets you smoke inside. I want to change. They have to be at that place before they're open for you to be able to help them. And then you can help them. You can plan that pathway for them to follow that's going to lead them from where they are right now to your paid offer. And still, you want to be really generous with your content. So you want to give them away as much as you can for free, like I said before. So this is what, as I said, you want to identify what they're talking about, and that's how you're going to create your content. You're going to create it around this problem, this dream solution that they want. So number 2 is to give away all of your best stuff for free and be generous. And this is a fear that most people have, many people have. They think that they're going to give all this stuff away for free, and people go, wow, great, I'm going to go and implement that. I'm going to do that. Thanks for that. And they're not going to sign up for your program. But, and of course there will be a few people that will do that. They're not going to have the same results that they could have had by working with you, but they'll get some results. And that's what you want. You don't want to give them something that they can't get great results with, because if they do that, then imagine what's how much, when they're ready, they'll know that that you can get them results, and they'll be ready to sign up, rather than you giving them this information and them not being able to do anything with it because it really wasn't the right information, because you didn't want to give away any of your secrets. No, don't be afraid that they're not going to buy from you, because they still need help to implement. How many times do we go to lectures, do we go to seminars and go, wow, that was awesome, and then get home and put the folder on a shelf and completely forget about it? They need help to implement. So many people, they need a step-by-step. They need someone to hold their hand. So that's what you're going to be able to do for them. And you want to make your free stuff so good that they would be willing to pay for it. Don't be afraid to do that, because that's their measure of you in a way. That's how they get to experience you before they have to pay. And if you're giving them such great content that that they're blown away, then they're going to be so impressed that they would be ready to pay for it. Imagine how great your paid content must be if your free stuff is this good. And then, as I said, you want to offer from your live content. People need to listen to 7 hours of you before they are ready to buy from you at a high-end level. So if you are giving, this is the average, of course, some people will buy straight away, some people will take 20 hours, but this is the average. So if you can spend time with them on a webinar, on a masterclass, doing a challenge, then that is going to be where you have them at their most receptive and open. And that's when you're going to be able to make your offer flow from your free content and lead towards your offer, as I said. So just a quick recap on those 3 key ways to use free content to book more clients every month. So firstly, you're going to be doing your research on what your ideal clients are talking about. You're going to be giving away all your best stuff for free. Don't be afraid, be generous. And you're going to offer from your live content, because that is the best place to do it, and that's where you're going to get your best results. So what you want to do is you want to design your content marketing strategy so that you're consistently attracting your dream clients, because they're the people that you want. They're the ones that you want. So what are the 3 crucial elements to include when structuring your free content so that your leads are primed to invest with you? Well, the first thing you want to do is to seed your offer. Seed your offer. Then you want to be able to get clarity on where they are now and make them aware. Because as I said, if they don't know what's wrong, and if they're not ready to make a change, then you're not going to get anywhere with them. Now I'm going to go into these in a bit more detail in a sec. And you want to show them what else they need. So what else is still missing. So seeding your offer, what does that mean? This is a brilliant strategy. You're preparing them from the start. So when you are doing a live stream, for example, you want to sprinkle in testimonials and client stories. So for example, if I was doing my challenge and I had my online program coming up soon that I wanted people to join, I may talk about how to use Facebook as a social media strategy. Just like one of my clients recently who has been through my program who did XYZ, talking about just popping those little bits in during the content that you're giving means that by the time you're ready to make an offer, people have already thought, oh, well, her program talks about this, and she's had this many people in it, and they've had these different results. And you haven't actually stopped and said, okay, now I want to tell you about my program. Instead, you've been seeding it throughout the time that you've spent together. And that's much more powerful than you stopping and saying, okay, now I'm into sales mode. You're just putting in those little bits and pieces along the way. And that is really, really powerful because it's just getting into their subconscious. They've got their gatekeeper open and it's allowed to get in, rather than you going into sales mode and then that gatekeeper comes up and closes off their mind and they're not open. And you want to stay consistent with your message. Stay on topic. And like I said about the testimonials and the stories, they are really important, but don't use them just for the sake of it. Don't think, oh, I better throw a story in here. It needs to be relevant, because people, you know, if you're doing a mismatch and there's no segue there, then people get confused, and a confused mind means that they're going to shut off and they're not going to be able to follow through, because you've put up a barrier rather than having that constant, lovely, flowing pathway that you're talking about in your content. And you want to make it a no-brainer for them. Make it so, you know, pack it with benefits. Talk about the things that you're throughout your content that's going to really mean that over and over again it's reiterating to them how much what you do is relevant to them and how much it's going to be able to help them. You want to get clarity on where they are now and make them aware. So you want to start with the problems that they're aware of, because you can't market to a problem they don't know they have. So if maybe it's like I said about they want more clients, and that's the problem that they know that they have, but you know that they haven't got a clear target market. They're being too general in the way that they're talking to people online. They are not being specific. They're jumping from niche to niche, and they haven't really defined who it is that they want to work with. And you know that that's the problem that they have. There's no point in you really marketing to that and saying, you know, are you jumping from topic to topic? Are you doing this and this and this? When they don't even know that that's why they haven't got clients. So you need to market to them not having clients first, and then once you've got their attention, then you can go deeper and talk more about what the underlying problems are. And this is in any niche. So, you know, in relationships, why am I not attracting the right man? Well, it may be actually because you have problems in your past, that you've had bad relationships and they've influenced the way that you're either acting or thinking whenever you meet someone new. But if you don't know about those problems, or you're not aware that they are doing that, then that's not the way to market to someone. You have to market to the problem that they know that they have, what they think their problem is, and then go deeper and address that deeper stuff that is the real stuff. So that's when you're really going to dig down deep and identify those underlying problems and make them aware. Because as I said, and once you think about it, really, if they're not aware of a problem, then you can't market to them, because then they don't know what it's costing them to have this problem. They don't know what the benefits are for you to solve this problem. And they have to have, you know, marketing is fast. It's not like you get the attention of someone and go, okay, now sit down here. Someone as they're scrolling through Facebook. Okay, now I know you think it's because you've got no customers and clients because you haven't got enough money to advertise, but actually what's happening is you're not clear on your niche. So making them aware needs to be done in the right way, especially when you're online, because you've only got a few seconds to get their attention. The next step is to show them what else is missing. What else do they need? You want to take them on that journey making them aware, as I said, from where that, getting clarity on where they are right now, and then taking them on a journey to where they want to be, so that they know where they're heading and they know what they want. You're going to make it seamless, and you're going to lead them towards that logical next step, which is the, oops, sorry, we'll go back here. Oh, no, okay, we're going crazy now. Let's see if I can go back. I can't go back. That's okay. So the main thing is you want to be able to make that logical next step, so that they know that once they have signed up with you, that's the next thing that they need. They're thinking, well, how do I work with you? What do I do now? What's that next step? Let's just do a quick recap of the 3 crucial things to include when structuring your free content so your leads are primed to invest with you. So number 1 was to seed your offer. Number 2 was to get clarity on where they are now and make them aware, because as I said, if they're not aware, then they don't know that they have a problem, and you can't market to that problem. And you want to show them what else they need, what else is still missing. So those 3 things are really, really key, and that's how you're going to be able to really make the most of whatever free content it is that you are creating. Because the idea is, when you're putting out your free content, the eventual idea is you're putting out free stuff, you're being generous, you're giving, and that's great. But eventually you want to pay back, you want a return on that. So ideally, what you want then is for people to start to sign up with you, to start to join your program, to start saying, yes, I want to get coached by you. Yes, I want to buy that book. Yes, I want to buy that product. Yes, I want to use your services. I need you. I need you to help me. I need you to do this for me. That's the eventual aim. And you want to make your content so great that they are confident that you can help them, and that they know that you understand them and you can help them in a way that they can understand. So a step-by-step way. I love doing step-by-steps. And this is the other thing with your free content. You're not only giving them the knowledge or sharing your knowledge with them and expertise, you're also sharing the way that you work, the way that you speak, the way that you structure your free content gives them confidence that you can deliver in a logical way, in a step-by-step way. You're not giving them too much. You're not making it too overwhelming. You're not giving them so much content that they can't cope. So all those little subtle things are at play when they are taking in or consuming that free content. And by balancing all those things together, that's how you're going to then have people signing up with you and getting those customers, getting those clients, getting growing that business by using your content as the main source. Now, what I do have for you today is I do have a special offer that's going to help you sort this out for yourself. So I've been running these Design 90 Days of Client Attracting Content Power Sessions, and I'd like to offer these today. Now what these are 2 90-minute phone or Zoom sessions, and they work brilliantly. You're going to learn my step-by-step planning system, and as I said, it's so important to be really, really clear on who your ideal client is so that you can get that messaging clear and you're attracting the right people. You're not attracting people who are not going to benefit from whatever it is you have to offer, and they are going to be qualified people who are really the right clients for you, and people that you love working with. There's no point in you feeling so desperate for clients that you're going to take anyone who's willing to sign up with you and then find out later that they're dreadful to deal with, or that what you do really doesn't mesh with what they need. So we're going to get really super, super clear on your ideal client and your messaging. And that means then we're going to be mapping out your content for the next 90 days in detail. So we're going to be talking about the themes, the titles, the contents for your next blogs, your newsletters, your webinars, your Facebook posts, your Instagram, whatever it is you have, the type of content, your live streams. We're going to really give you a plan so that you are set up for for 2018, and you can start with a bang. Imagine if you went into next year with all of your content for the next 90 days laid out, so that you just have to then implement. You've got you've got all of your newsletters planned out. You've got your webinars. You've got a theme for each month. You've got themes for each week, and you're never at that stage where you're sitting down in front of your computer going, I have to get out some posts here and I've got no idea what to write about. It's all sorted. Imagine how that would feel to know that you've got that done, and you can then spend your time on being live. You can spend your time on being present when you're online, rather than feeling that you have to be doing all these things, because they're all sorted. Now, I do have a special offer price today. So the offer, this is normally $750, but I'm offering for 5 people $550. And you can get in before the end of the year, and we can get you set up so that you're starting the 1st of January. You are sorted for the next 3 months, all done. So just click on the time trade link there, and you can go and book your session. And I am very excited to spend some time with some of you lovely ladies. So please book in for your session before they disappear. Now, I have really enjoyed our time together today. It's been fantastic, and I really hope that you've got a lot of great ideas and insights onto how you can use content, free content in your business to grow your business, to get more clients, and to grow your revenue, and to get your favorite dream clients. So I have really enjoyed spending this time with you today, and oops, where are we? There we go. And I look forward to seeing you again next time, ladies. So bye for now.